Is that new car smell actually the scent of your bank account slowly evaporating into thin air? Most people chase shiny vehicles, yet they are the fastest way to stay broke for a lifetime. Meanwhile, a quiet group builds massive wealth by choosing functional alternatives that most people would simply ignore. Why are we so obsessed with looking wealthy that we actually stop ourselves from becoming truly wealthy? Nick focuses on small financial decisions that create massive differences in your long-term wealth accumulation over time. Consider the heavy cost of that luxury leather seat compared to the future freedom you are sacrificing. Buying a brand new car is like lighting 20% of your cash on fire immediately today. Rapid depreciation hits your net worth the very moment you turn the key for the first time. We often sacrifice our future compound interest just to impress complete strangers at a busy red light. True wealth often wears a disguise, hiding behind what many people dismissively call a beater car today. By definition, a beater runs reliably but features a worn appearance like faded paint or minor dents. These vehicles may have worn interiors, yet they provide the exact same transportation value as luxury models. Choosing a beater allows you to master the total cost of ownership while others drown in debt. This strategy is a form of financial camouflage, keeping your growing net worth hidden from the world. Every dollar saved on a car payment represents a massive opportunity cost for your future investment portfolio. Imagine redirecting that monthly payment into assets that actually grow in value while you are sleeping soundly. The secret isn't just about saving money. It is about understanding how small choices compound over decades. While the world chases status value, the wealthy focus on the utility and efficiency of their tools. Are you ready to stop burning cash and start building a foundation that lasts for your family? Let's look at why a dusty 15-year-old sedan might be the smartest investment you ever make. I'm Nick, and I drive a car that most people would call a total beater. While the neighbors might stare, my bank account sees this vehicle as a financial masterpiece. Most people think building wealth requires a massive inheritance or a lucky lottery win. I focus on small daily financial decisions that create massive differences in long-term accumulation. When these tiny choices compound over years, they build a foundation for ultimate financial freedom. That brings us back to this dusty sedan, the unsung hero of my wealth-building strategy. To understand the strategy, we first need to define what a beater actually is. In our world, a beater is a vehicle that runs reliably but looks completely worn. It is the kind of car featuring faded paint that has seen better decades. You might see minor dents or a few scratches earned from years on the road. The interior probably shows some honest wear, but the engine still hums with pure life. Does a dented fender stop you from getting to work on time every morning? Of course not, yet we have started confusing a reliable engine with a perfect exterior. A true beater is like a pair of worn-in boots designed for heavy lifting. They are not meant for the runway, but they outlast every pair of designer sneakers. We are not talking about a dangerous death trap or a car that constantly breaks down. We are talking about choosing transportation value over the high price of superficial status. This machine is a tool, not a trophy, and it serves one primary purpose well. It moves you from point A to point B without draining your future savings account. This is what I call financial camouflage, hiding your growing wealth in plain sight. Every dollar saved on a monthly car payment is a dollar that starts compounding today. It is about recognizing the massive opportunity cost hidden within that shiny new car lease. Why pay for the scent of a new car when you can buy your freedom? Let us break down the real math behind why this worn-out sedan is a gold mine. Understanding this shift in perspective is the first step toward true long-term wealth accumulation. The secret to having money is remarkably boring. Wealthy people buy transportation while everyone else buys a trophy. Most people view their driveway as a stage where they perform for their neighbors' silent, judgmental approval. But treating a car like a status symbol is like buying a gold-plated hammer to drive nails. Are you actually paying for a reliable engine, or are you just financing a massive, temporary ego boost? Why is your neighbor's fleeting approval worth sacrificing $500 of your hard-earned cash every month? The fundamental difference lies in how we perceive the real value of the machine sitting in our garage. Many people fall into the trap of prioritizing monthly payment amounts over the total cost of ownership. They chase leather seats and high-tech gadgets that have absolutely nothing to do with getting from A to B. This focus on status value over transportation value is precisely what keeps the middle class perpetually broke. While one person calculates the monthly bill, the future millionaire calculates the devastating impact of rapid depreciation. To the truly wealthy, a car is a tool for mobility, not a costume for their social life. They prioritize transportation value, seeking the most reliable journey for the lowest possible long-term price tag. They understand that every dollar saved on a car is a dollar that can fuel compound interest. Opting for a humble beater provides financial camouflage, allowing your net worth to grow in total silence. Meanwhile, the flashy status seeker is actually paying a massive opportunity cost for that brand new smell. Every luxury feature represents money that could have been working for you in the stock market instead. Wealthy individuals look past the shiny paint to see the true utility of a well-maintained older vehicle. They aren't afraid of a few scratches if it means keeping their capital free for actual investments. Choosing utility over vanity is the quiet superpower that separates the truly rich from the merely looking rich. This psychological shift transforms a liability into a stepping stone toward your ultimate goal of financial freedom. The trap is hidden in the features unrelated to transportation that modern dealerships use to lure you in. By focusing on the utility of the machine, you strip away the expensive illusions of social standing. It is about recognizing that your car's primary job is moving bodies, not inflating your personal ego. When you embrace this mindset, you stop being a slave to the lender and start becoming a master. This transition from consumer to investor begins the moment you prioritize your future over your current image. But keeping an older machine reliable requires a deep dive into the practical side of vehicle maintenance. You're standing at the mechanic, staring at a repair bill that feels like a total disaster. Your heart sinks as you wonder if it's finally time to trade this beater for something new. But would you rather pay a mechanic once a year, or a bank every single month? That single $1,500 repair might feel heavy, but let's look closer at the actual math. It turns out that a major fix is actually cheaper than 4 months of new car payments. Most people fear older cars because they imagine constant, expensive breakdowns draining their savings accounts. In reality, annual maintenance costs on high-mileage vehicles rarely exceed the price of a modern loan. Modern cars are essentially smartphones on wheels, filled with complex computer systems that eventually fail. When one electronic sensor glitches, it can lock you out of every single feature on the dashboard. Older vehicles lack these convoluted electronic components, making them significantly more reliable for the long haul. This simpler technology allows you to diagnose problems without needing a laboratory full of specialized equipment. You don't need a degree in software engineering just to figure out why your engine is stalling. Simplicity means that repairs are faster, more straightforward, and much easier for any local mechanic to handle. Think about the total cost of ownership before you sign a contract for a shiny new status symbol. If your monthly payment is $450, you are losing $5,000 every year. That $1,500 bill suddenly looks like a bargain compared to the relentless drain of a loan. Is new technology actually making your life easier, or is it just making your car harder to fix? Choosing an older car is an act of financial camouflage that protects your wealth from unnecessary spending. You are prioritizing transportation value over the fleeting status value that comes with a fresh license plate. By avoiding those monthly payments, you unlock a massive opportunity cost to invest in your own future. Every dollar not sent to the bank is a dollar that can start earning compound interest today. The fear of a breakdown is often just a psychological trap designed to keep you in debt. Reliable transportation doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to get you from point A to B. Don't let the new car smell distract you from the evaporation of your hard-earned bank balance. True wealth builders understand that a well-maintained older car is actually a powerful financial tool. Maintaining an older machine requires a shift in perspective regarding what a vehicle actually represents. Stop viewing repairs as failures and start seeing them as strategic investments in your financial freedom. When you stop paying the bank, you finally take full control over your own mobile assets. However, the true price of that new car extends far beyond the sticker on the window. We need to expose the hidden costs of financing that most dealerships hope you never calculate. While financing traps await the unwary, the true physical cost starts with the complexity under your hood. Most people fear older cars because they mistake a lack of screens for a lack of reliability. Older cars often lack the complex computer systems and electronic components found in most modern high-tech vehicles. Modern vehicles are packed with delicate sensors that frequently require a specialized technician just to identify. When a simple sensor fails in a new car, your bank account feels the immediate, painful impact. Think of your older car as a mechanical masterpiece, rather than a high-tech liability waiting to break. Unlike modern counterparts, these vintage machines lack the tangled web of processors and hidden software loops. This simplicity means you aren't held hostage by proprietary code or expensive, dealership-only diagnostic software tools. Your total cost of ownership stays low when your engine speaks a language that humans actually understand. These older vehicles with simpler technology are often much easier to diagnose and repair without specialized equipment. You don't need a laboratory or a NASA computer to figure out why the engine is humming. This ease of repair turns a potential weekend disaster into a quick and very satisfying driveway fix. While others pay massive premiums for status value, you are quietly building wealth through mechanical simplicity. Every dollar saved on specialized dealer labor is a dollar that fuels your long-term compound interest. Choosing transportation value over digital gadgets is the ultimate form of financial camouflage in today's flashy world. Imagine the freedom of knowing your car doesn't require a Silicon Valley genius to keep it running. Older vehicles with basic technology are designed for longevity rather than the trap of planned electronic obsolescence. You are trading frustrating software glitches for reliable gears and grease that actually stand the test. Why should you pay for a rolling computer when a simple mechanical engine gets you there safely? This shift in perspective transforms the humble beater into a powerful tool for your ultimate financial independence. Every time you avoid a $1,000 sensor replacement, you are winning the difficult game of depreciation. The opportunity cost of driving a complex modern vehicle is significantly higher than most people ever realize. Simple technology ensures that your repairs remain affordable, predictable, and within your own personal mechanic's control. You won't find yourself stranded because a tiny computer chip decided to stop talking to the battery. Instead, you enjoy the peace of mind that comes from owning a machine you can truly master. This mechanical transparency is the secret weapon for anyone serious about escaping the debt-burdened modern rat race. Stop fearing the age of the vehicle and start respecting the brilliant simplicity of its internal design. When you strip away the screens and sensors, you find the real path to building lasting wealth. It is time to look under the hood and see the potential for massive, life-changing financial savings. Now that we have mastered the mechanical advantage, let's finally expose those predatory dealership financing secrets. The dealership isn't selling you a car. They're selling you a subscription to debt. Behind the shiny showroom floor lies a carefully crafted illusion designed to empty your wallet. Why does the bank care so much about the specific insurance coverage you choose to carry? The car financing industry strategically focuses your attention on small monthly payments instead of total costs. This clever distraction keeps you from noticing how much your status symbol actually costs every year. When you finance a vehicle, the lender typically mandates that you carry expensive, comprehensive insurance coverage. This requirement adds a hidden layer of expense that most buyers fail to calculate upfront. Think of the monthly payment treadmill as a belt that gets faster every time you try stepping off. In contrast, owning a beater outright gives you the freedom to choose your own financial path. Most states only require liability insurance when you hold the title to your vehicle yourself. Switching from comprehensive to liability on an older car can save you hundreds of dollars annually. Those hundreds of dollars represent pure opportunity cost that could be building your actual wealth instead. Financial camouflage allows you to look ordinary while your bank account grows behind the scenes. While others brag about their new leather seats, you are quietly accumulating massive compound interest. The total cost of ownership becomes a transparent number rather than a confusing monthly riddle. How much extra are you truly paying just for the fleeting privilege of owning a status symbol? The dealership wants you to focus on the small number while they pocket the big difference. Your reliable old beater isn't just transportation. It is a shield against predatory financial traps. Every dollar saved on insurance premiums is a brick in the foundation of your future freedom. Escaping the financing trap is the first step toward reclaiming your true financial independence. When you stop chasing status value, you finally start seeing the true transportation value of your vehicle. Depreciation is a silent predator that eats the wealth of those who prioritize appearances over assets. By avoiding heavy financing, you effectively opt out of the most common debt trap in modern society. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you actually own what you drive. This transition from borrower to owner marks a major turning point in your journey toward wealth. Have you ever looked at your insurance bill and wondered if you are overpaying for a piece of paper? Most drivers treat insurance like a fixed cost, but it is actually one of your biggest variable expenses. This is where the true financial magic of owning a beater starts to reveal its hidden power. When you finance a vehicle, the bank demands comprehensive coverage to protect their investment, not yours. You are essentially paying to protect the lender as interest while your car's status value rapidly fades. But the moment you hold that title, you gain the legal freedom to choose liability-only insurance. Most states only require liability, meaning you are no longer forced to pay for full coverage protection. This shift marks the transition from being a bank's tenant to becoming a true vehicle owner. Switching to liability on an older car can easily save you hundreds of dollars every single year. Imagine that extra cash staying in your pocket instead of funding an insurance giant's next skyscraper. These annual savings represent a massive opportunity cost that most people completely ignore while chasing status. Instead of buying peace of mind for a depreciating asset, you could be fueling your own wealth. If you invest those saved insurance premiums, compound interest turns that extra cash into a small fortune. This is a critical factor in the total cost of ownership that flashy new car buyers overlook. Driving an older car acts as financial camouflage, hiding your growing net worth from the world. While your neighbors pay for comprehensive coverage, you are quietly compounding your way toward real freedom. Your beater isn't just transportation. It is a high-yield savings account disguised as a dented sedan. Every month you spend less on insurance is a month you get closer to financial independence. This isn't about being cheap. It is about being strategic with every dollar your car consumes. Owning your vehicle outright is the master key that unlocks these significant, recurring monthly rewards. Why pay to insure a car worth $5,000 as if it were still brand new? The math simply doesn't add up when you compare the premiums to the actual replacement value. By embracing liability-only coverage, you reclaim control over one of your largest recurring monthly bills. This simple switch is a practical win that transforms your daily commute into a wealth-building exercise. Now that we have slashed your insurance costs, let's look at the psychological side of this journey. Beyond the insurance and maintenance savings lies a deeper psychological freedom that most drivers never experience. Have you ever wondered if you are buying a car for yourself or for others? I once pulled my beat-up Honda into a parking lot filled with shimmering, high-end luxury vehicles. Walking into that high-stakes business meeting, I felt a strange sense of calm despite my aging ride. Do you know how many successful people in that room judged me for my reliable beater? The answer was absolutely zero, because real value is measured by results rather than shiny metal. Most car commercials aren't actually selling you transportation. They're selling you a fabricated social identity. They want you to believe that your self-worth is directly tied to a piece of depreciating machinery. When you prioritize status value over transportation value, you trap your mind in a cycle of comparison. Driving an older car provides a form of financial camouflage that shields you from unnecessary social pressure. You stop worrying about the tiny door dings or what the person in the next lane thinks. Is your identity truly found in a luxury leather interior or in your personal character and achievements? Choosing a beater allows you to focus on building wealth instead of maintaining a fragile public image. Your total cost of ownership drops significantly when you stop paying the high price of status seeking. Every dollar saved from a car payment becomes a powerful seed for compound interest in your portfolio. The opportunity cost of looking rich is often the reality of actually being wealthy and financially secure. True confidence comes from knowing your bank account is growing while your car is simply moving you. A luxury car acts as a costume, while a reliable beater represents a solid, unshakable financial identity. Once you realize that your social circle rarely cares about your vehicle, the stress simply melts away. Why keep up with the Joneses when they are likely drowning in debt just to look successful? Embracing the older car lifestyle means choosing mental peace over the fleeting thrill of a new purchase. You gain the freedom to walk away from the status game and play a much better one. Now that we have mastered the mindset, let's look at the cold, hard numbers of vehicle depreciation. While the depreciation numbers are terrifying, the real trap begins with the clever stories we are told. Have you ever noticed that car commercials rarely focus on the actual engine or the cargo space? Instead, they show rugged adventurers or sophisticated professionals living their absolute best lives on the open road. These advertisements are meticulously designed to sell you a shiny new identity rather than just reliable transportation. They want you to believe that a specific badge on your grille defines your personal success and standing. This manufactured desire for status value often outweighs the practical transportation value of the vehicle itself. We become convinced that our neighbors and coworkers are constantly judging us based on our choice of driveway jewelry. But here's the brutal truth. Most people in your social circle are too busy worrying about themselves. You are paying a massive premium for a status symbol that your friends rarely even notice or care about. This obsession with perception creates a massive opportunity cost that quietly drains your long-term wealth-building potential. Every dollar spent chasing a temporary image is a dollar that cannot benefit from the power of compound interest. The total cost of ownership becomes a heavy burden just to maintain a lifestyle that serves no purpose. Choosing the reliable beater isn't about being cheap. It's about rejecting the false identities sold by massive corporations. When you stop paying for a status symbol, you start investing in the freedom of your own future. This shift toward financial camouflage allows you to build real wealth while others are drowning in car payments. We often sacrifice our future security for the fleeting rush of driving something brand new off the lot. The identity you purchase through a monthly payment plan is an expensive illusion that evaporates as the car ages. Why do we let marketing departments dictate how we should feel about our own worth and professional success? Real status isn't found in a leather interior, but in the growing balance of your investment accounts. Breaking free from this cycle requires us to see through the cinematic lighting and dramatic music of showrooms. Once you prioritize transportation value over ego, you unlock a level of financial peace most drivers never know. Your car should be a tool for your progress, not a trophy that keeps you tethered to debt. As we move forward, we must calculate the true price of looking rich versus actually becoming wealthy. One person drives a shiny sedan while the other has an extra $42,000 in the bank. They both arrive at work at the exact same time despite their very different financial choices. Imagine choosing between a monthly payment or building a small fortune while you drive to your office. Most people fall for the status value of a newer sedan, signing away $450 monthly. Over a 6-year period, those seemingly small monthly installments quietly drain $32,400 from you. That total cost of ownership excludes interest, making the actual price tag even higher than it first appears. While you pay for that new car smell, depreciation acts like a massive invisible leak in your tank. Your 3-year-old sedan might eventually plummet in value to a mere $15,000 after 6 long years. You are essentially trading your future wealth for a piece of metal that loses value every single mile. Now, let's look at the driver who chooses financial camouflage and picks up an $8,000 cash beater. Instead of feeding a bank, this driver directs that $450 toward their own growing portfolio. This is the concept of opportunity cost, where every dollar spent on status is a dollar not invested. By capturing that monthly payment, you tap into the incredible power of compound interest to build real wealth. Investing that same amount into a diversified portfolio earning 7% annually creates a staggering financial result. After 6 years, that consistent investment strategy would accumulate approximately $42,000 for your future self. Compare that $42,000 nest egg to the $15,000 car sitting in the neighbor Jeff's driveway. One driver has a depreciating asset, while the other holds a massive pile of cash and growing investments. Is looking rich in a newer car really worth sacrificing $42,000 of your ultimate wealth? The math reveals a massive discrepancy that most people ignore in favor of keeping up with the Joneses. Choosing transportation value over status value is the primary secret to escaping the exhausting cycle of modern debt. Where would you be in 6 years if you suddenly found an extra $40,000 in your account? This financial gap is just the beginning of the freedom that comes with driving a reliable older vehicle. Beyond the math, we must consider what happens when that beater actually needs a trip to the shop. I know a millionaire who drives a $3,000 truck with a cracked dashboard and peeling paint. While others chase the latest status symbols, he chose a humble beater as his primary transportation vehicle. This successful real estate investor bought that reliable old truck exactly 5 years ago for next to nothing. Most people in his tax bracket would feel embarrassed driving something so basic and worn down. He viewed that vehicle through the lens of opportunity cost, rather than just basic social status. By avoiding a massive monthly car payment, he practiced the ultimate form of financial camouflage. Every dollar he didn't spend on interest or depreciation was a dollar ready for a better purpose. Over those 5 years, he redirected every saved penny into 4 high-performing rental properties. While his neighbors watched their new car values plummet, his real estate portfolio began to explode. He traded temporary status value for long-term financial independence and a life of total freedom. He focused on transportation value while the rest of the world obsessed over fleeting status symbols. The math is simple but profound. Car payments steal your future while investments build it. He leveraged the power of compound interest by putting his money where it actually grows. This investor isn't living small. He's living smart by prioritizing his future over his driveway. Every time he turns the key in that cheap truck, he's reminded of his growing empire. Would you trade your leather seats and premium sound system for 4 cash-flowing properties? Is the temporary thrill of a new car smell worth more than your financial independence? His old truck was truly the engine that powered his entire real estate journey to success. He minimized his total cost of ownership to maximize his ability to acquire life-changing wealth. He didn't care about the judgment of strangers because he knew the strength of his balance sheet. While the world focused on the exterior, he was building a foundation that would last a lifetime. Driving a beater allowed him to seize opportunities that others simply couldn't afford to take. He chose to be wealthy in secret rather than looking rich and staying completely broke. His journey proves that the car you drive often determines the life you get to lead. This story reveals a paradox that most researchers are only just beginning to fully understand. That Millionaire's truck highlights a paradox that most consumers completely ignore when they head to the showroom. Why do we treat a $500 television with more respect than a $20,000 investment? Imagine you are shopping for a new TV to mount in your living room this coming weekend. You spend 3 weeks reading expert reviews and comparing every pixel and port across multiple brands. You browse enthusiast forums for hours just to ensure the refresh rate is perfect for your movies. It feels like a massive decision because $500 of your hard-earned cash is at stake. But when it comes to the driveway, our logic seems to evaporate like a puddle in July. Suddenly, we are standing on a dealership lot staring at a $20,000 liability with shiny paint. Instead of weeks of research, we settle for a superficial 15-minute test drive around the block. We judge the entire mechanical integrity of the machine by how soft the leather seats feel today. Does the cup holder fit your coffee, and does the infotainment screen look futuristic enough for you? Most buyers spend more time choosing a smartphone than they do inspecting their primary mode of transportation. This impulsive behavior is exactly how the status value trap catches even the most careful budget savers. We are buying a feeling of success rather than calculating the actual total cost of ownership involved. Is it really a wise investment, or are you just falling for the fresh scent of new leather? Buying a car based on a short drive is like getting married after a quick coffee date. We ignore the looming depreciation and maintenance because the visual appearance is just so incredibly distracting. This psychological blind spot costs the average person hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. While you save $50 on a TV sale, you lose thousands on a bad vehicle choice. The opportunity cost of that extra debt could have been your ticket to early financial freedom. It is time to stop buying trophies and start purchasing actual transportation value for your money. We need to apply that television-level scrutiny to the assets that actually impact our net worth. Using financial camouflage means looking past the glitter to find a hidden mechanical reality underneath. Choosing a reliable beater today creates compound interest that will make you truly wealthy tomorrow. The difference between a smart purchase and a status trap often comes down to simple math. Let us see how those dollars could grow if they were not tied up in metal. Is the social status of a new car worth nearly $1 million in your own pocket? Let us stop looking at the shiny paint and start looking at the cold, hard numbers instead. Every car payment you save and invest is a seed for a forest that shades your retirement. Imagine you decide to reject the status value and embrace the humble life of a reliable beater. Instead of a $500 loan, you set aside a modest $400 every single month. You are trading a depreciating piece of metal for the incredible power of massive compound interest. Let us look at what happens when you maintain this discipline for exactly 30 years straight. Investing $400 monthly for 30 years at a 7% return creates over $400,000. That is nearly $500,000 built entirely from simple, smart transportation choices and personal patience. But what if you started earlier and let that financial camouflage work even longer for you? Picture yourself starting this journey at age 25 and staying the course until age 65. Investing $400 monthly from age 25 to 65 at 7% results in over $800,000. That reliable old car isn't just a vehicle. It is actually a hidden $800,000 retirement fund. This is the staggering opportunity cost of choosing a trophy over a tool for your daily commute. When you calculate the total cost of ownership, the shiny new sedan looks like a financial disaster. Driving a beater isn't about being poor. It is about choosing to be incredibly wealthy later. What would your 65-year-old self say about the expensive car you are driving right now? You can have the leather seats today or a massive fortune that provides ultimate lifetime freedom. Most people are too busy financing their image to notice they are burning their future wealth away. Your path to becoming a millionaire starts with the keys to a car that nobody else wants. Stop buying the status and start investing in the freedom that true financial camouflage finally provides. Real wealth is often invisible, hidden behind the wheel of a decade-old car that runs perfectly fine. But by ignoring depreciation and high interest rates, you reclaim the power over your own financial future today. Every single mile you drive in that beater is a direct investment in your long-term financial security. The math is simple, the choice is clear, and the wealth you build will be absolutely life-changing. Stop buying things you don't need, with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. Every time you sign for a new car, you are trading your future freedom for temporary social validation. Real wealth isn't the shiny metal everyone sees, but rather the invisible engine powering your entire life. Choosing a reliable beater today is the first step toward reclaiming that $800,000 secret. While others focus on the status value of their driveway, you can focus on your total net worth. Depreciation is a silent predator that eats your hard-earned savings while you wait at every red light. By choosing transportation value over luxury, you effectively shield your wealth through a strategy of financial camouflage. Your total cost of ownership shouldn't include the heavy price of your own long-term financial insecurity. Will you choose the flash of shiny metal today, or the lasting peace of absolute freedom tomorrow? The path to wealth is often paved with older paint jobs and simple, boring, mechanical reliability. Compound interest works best when you stop feeding it to a bank through high-interest car payments. Opportunity cost is the invisible price tag attached to every monthly payment you send to a dealership. Imagine what your life would look like with nearly $1 million waiting for you in the bank. That future is entirely possible if you start viewing your car as a tool instead of a trophy. Don't let the marketing traps of the showroom floor steal the potential of your early retirement. Wealthy people stay wealthy because they understand that a car is just a way to get around. Your social standing shouldn't be tied to a depreciating asset that loses value the moment you drive away. Take a hard look at your driveway and ask yourself if that metal is truly worth your freedom. What is your first tangible step toward reclaiming that $800,000 for your own future? The math remains simple, and the choice is yours to make starting from this very moment. Choose the path that leads to abundance and leave the trap of status symbol vehicles behind forever. Your bank account will thank you, and your future self will celebrate the day you chose wealth. Turn the key on your new life and start building the wealth you actually deserve today.